Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
And 3.
Number 2.
1.
Woohoo!
Oh, America. Be a day late. Maybe.
Yeah, well, whatever.
But we're back and more than ever. You are.
You're welcome.
Welcome. Absolutely welcome. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Thank you. Coming to you semi-live tonight. I'm in Richmond, Virginia.
All right.
As I look over my laptop out here, I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at downtown Richmond, I guess.
All right. It's a nice skyline.
I think the skyline's more that way. I'm looking
Gotcha.
out toward, I see a bridge over there. I see some murals, tops of some buildings. I'm on the 15th floor right now of the Richmond Marriott. I was outside a while ago. I walked, got me a pizza down there, so I enjoyed some of the sights of Richmond. Smelled a lot of marijuana.
So great.
Yo, there's not an American city today that you can walk around. And I have not been to New York it's been a minute. It's been probably seven or 8 years. So the marijuana laws were not loosened there. What I hear in New York now is you can't turn a corner. They say New York is just nonstop. Here in Richmond, now granted, this is a Monday evening, so I don't.
Right. People recovering from the weekend, man. You're there on a Wednesday night, midweek or something. It's like time to party.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what the average pot intake or outtake or whatever it is on a Monday evening in Richmond, but there was some. There was and of course the homeless and the whether or not they choose, I didn't talk to many. I didn't want to know if you choosing, are you are you down on your
Right.
luck?
Are you homeless because of the lack of a home? Is a housing shortage?
Yeah, I don't know, but here after a rather long day of travel, but they're all long days of travel. But all good. All good. No
Good.
we're just a little bit probably a day late because we got our signals crossed.
Yeah, we got our signals crossed, and I misread some stuff. I hadn't gone to my dad's house in a while, so I was going home. I was going, to his house yesterday to watch the Saints game, which then conflicted with your availability because you were going to an Astros game. We're big sporting guys, you and
That's
I.
right. We're all about family. You were with your
That's
dad,
right.
and I was with my son. So
But then I was about halfway to my dad's house, and I realized that the Saints game actually didn't start until 3, which meant I could have done the thing early
Hey,
and met your timeline.
America forgives you. America forgives you. I mean, it's just I got to be honest. When you sent me that, I was thinking Saints are playing. Well, then I thought the Saints must be playing at home
That's what I thought. I thought they were at home.
because there's no way they were playing. But that's okay because it turns out the Saints didn't show up anyway.
No, that's right. So
Man.
it was odd because the I don't know, some people moved in a couple of doors down from us, and somebody mistakenly told them that I was the HOA president. Uh, so they came over to ask a couple questions, and I said, first of all, not even on the board. Was never the president, but no, it was like 2 minutes into the game, and so I reluctantly paused the game and went talk to them because I could hear my wife talking to them like at the door, and that took about 20 minutes. But then I came back and I just updated my iPhone to the new iOS, which has options about, hey, show priority events live or whatever, updates on it. I said, all right, whatever, I don't know. So I sat down and I look at my phone, and it's now about 3:20, 3:25. The game started at 3:05, and I see 0 to 21.
Man, unbelievable.
And I said, that's no, how long have I been gone?
I didn't think I was gonna. So here's the deal. And those of you that are not Saints fans out there, hey, suck it up, Buttercup. This is some of the stuff we have to get through this time of year because Juan doesn't have very many priorities above this podcast.
Right,
I'm
right.
gonna guess. I'm gonna guess his family maybe, and not all of his
On
family,
occasion.
but the Saints games.
Yeah.
Juan,
Saints game, dude. I schedule a lot around the Saints
Juan is
games.
not missing the Saints game.
I don't think I'll be, having a lot of conflicts with the Saints games anymore.
But this year, going into the year, the Saints were supposed to be, if not the one of the
Right, right. They kind of
because
teased us for 2 weeks.
Mickey Loomis has been building just a legacy there.
Yeah.
And
No
again, I think
crap.
we have said this before, but I'll say it again. I want to apologize to Drew Brees. Um, Toward the end of Drew Brees' career, I was one of these guys
Right. It was time. It was time.
sitting in the stands. I'm sitting in the stands. I can remember being our good friends, the Colles. I'm sitting there with Gavin Collet and folks, and I don't know the words commiserating with him because I'm not exactly sure he was on board, but I was saying, man, this is what happens because they weren't winning.
Right. When you pay one guy so much.
But you look back at it, man, the Saints had a couple years toward the end of his career that they should have been.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Now you look back and say, man, they didn't pay him enough.
the Minnesota Miracle and all that other
Yeah. Oh
stuff.
yeah.
It wasn't.
The thing with the Rams. Yeah.
Oh, that was awful. Oh, awful. So, but I'm one of these guys sitting there going, they're paying that guy. I mean, like that's why they can't afford this, can't afford that. And it like you just alluded to. Right now, I'm like, man, pay him that same amount and bring him back.
Yeah.
At his age now, I'm gonna you just look back and
Dude, I'd say go back and get Jameis from the. I'd be gotta, and you don't. I
listen,
don't know what it's
listen.
so. Put it this way: there's so many things wrong. You
Jameis
can't pick one to say
Jameis
if
is the
only,
yeah, Jameis is the third string quarterback on a terrible team right now.
dude.
So
No, well, I tell you who's about to be the second string quarterback is Russell Wilson.
you know what, man? Let Russ cook. Okay, that's an inside. Listen, yeah, I think he's been washed up for a few years, but you know, you look good against Dallas. But as it turns out, everybody looks good against Dallas.
Right. I didn't watch the game, and I'm not big on stats and stuff. But so yeah, I checked it was the middle of the third quarter, and I looked at the stat line, and his quarterback rating was 19.9. I have never in my life as a football fan seen a number that low, and I'm thinking he was barely above me.
Well, I'm sitting at home and he's barely. But you listen. So, like I said, Jameis is fun. Jameis has figured out he enjoys. He made a lot of money. He was the first
Yeah,
draft, and he's still making. He's making more money than most business executives in the country. And he's a clown. He's decided.
Jameis has figured out a way to make money off of his parody.
Correct. He is that. And again, God bless America, because Jameis has been able to put aside credible accusations of,
Yeah, lots of things.
hey, stealing crab legs at Publix
Yeah,
was the least of what Jameis
yeah,
was
yeah.
accused of coming out of.
Thank God Jameis was around before cancel culture.
Yes, because Jameis dang sure would have been canceled. So go, yeah, that's all behind him now. But so that's going on. So yes, the Saints teased New Orleans fans for the first 2 weeks because they looked kind of feisty.
Right, it's not as bad as we thought.
They gave you a hope like, oh man, maybe the Saints might, and then this last game was like, oh wow, how
Yeah.
awful. But here's the deal, dude. So you guys, the Saints were supposed to suck. I'm here in Houston. Houston's supposed to be pretty decent. Like pretty much everybody was saying, yeah, ought to win your division. And who knows, dude, Houston sucks.
Yeah,
We're
man.
not, we're not, I mean, we're not.
Well, they were competitive till the very end. I mean, they blew the game you were at.
Yeah. No, they didn't blow it. They got beat. I was at the Tampa Bay game. So the only game they've played home this year, regular season. I was there. I hate Monday night games when you're tailgating because, oh my gosh, by the time the game starts, you're just exhausted and
Yeah.
tired. But um, No, Tampa Bay beat the snot out of them all game long. They had a chance to steal the game,
All right.
and they blew it. They found a way to Baker Mayfield. Go figure out Baker Mayfield.
Dude, Baker's like lighting it up at the end of every game now.
He's the guy. Baker now deserves all the commercials he had back when he was with Cleveland.
This is what I like about Baker now is like, yesterday he was talking about how, he said, yeah, this one was, a bit special because their offensive coordinator is a guy who let me go from
Yeah.
from the Panthers. So he's got no problem being petty. And I
Well,
kind of like that.
don't blame him. Don't blame him.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's Dave and Juan sports review.
Yeah. Well, here I got you a little sporting news that's only indirect sporting news. So, did you see that you remember the LeBron James had this whole school program in Ohio that I think it was, he basically would, cover everybody's tuition, and if you did well there, I think he'd cover your college tuition.
Okay. Well, okay. I'll let you finish that because I never believed it, but okay.
Well, he's off the hook now, Dave. That's not a problem. Because here I'm reading from an article. It says report cards are in, and LeBron James' I Promise School is still failing, but there's progress being made, according to newly released data from Ohio Department of Education. Says no, it's not as bad as 2023 when it was revealed that not a single eighth grader had passed the Ohio math proficiency test, but there's still major issues based on the new data. So now, 2 out of 75 passed it.
2 out of 75 students
Students passed the state proficiency exam.
So here's the deal on that. And here's what's funny. I can't stand LeBron, but not for that. Here's my deal with that. I don't even blame, like, okay, just because your name's on there and you paid. But here's my deal. I don't believe he's paying the money. I think he's one of these guys who talks a much bigger game. They got people out there that give money quietly.
Right, he's a big virtue signal guy.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And I just don't think he's a good dude. Okay. So you know what? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I shouldn't think that way. And I'm not even arguing whether or not he's this athlete, that athlete. I just think that whole I just don't I don't like it. I can't blame him for, okay, nobody's passing. I got news for you. There are school districts in a lot of major American cities where the numbers are just insane about,
Right.
nobody can, you have young people who can't pass these tests. And oh, by the way, a lot of it's coming off of COVID. We shut down school. It was bad to start off with.
Mm-hmm.
Then guess what? When you don't let 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 year olds freaking learn to read like we're supposed to learn to read and math, even those that would have had a chance have no chance. But no, my problem with him and some of his ilk is that yeah, it's for the headline. It's for
Right. Look at me.
yeah, and they're not. I mean, but look, I was gonna say I was gonna accuse Bon Jovi of doing that. Do you still have Bon Jovi Street in Houma? I gotta.
Oh,
Oh, you knew there was a Bon Jovi Street in somewhere in Houma. Yeah,
no.
apparently after a hurricane
After one of the hurricanes that made some
Katrina.
stuff.
Well, everybody did stuff after Katrina because New
Yeah.
Orleans got all the press. It's like that. Well, again, but we're going down all kinds of rabbit trails tonight. But yeah, anybody that knows anything about Louisiana hurricanes, they think Katrina was the only thing that ever hit.
No.
Right, exactly.
From a hit standpoint, it wasn't all that bad.
No, and boy, people's eyes open. I've been saying this for years when I run into various people around the country, and they all know Katrina, and I try to, educate them just a little bit about yes, it was a tragedy, and yes, there were many people who were affected, but a lot of the tragedy was the incompetence,
Oh, right, right. Your pumps don't work.
decades of incompetence,
Right,
not
right.
not
And poor Mississippi, who really got pelted by it, didn't get,
right, right.
nearly the I guess the attention.
Yeah, Ray School Bus Nagin,
Yeah.
governor at the time, but yeah, we're all over the place on that. But yeah, so that's so I said we got Saints Texans covered. Monday night games coming on. I got it here in the I got the thing off. By the way, and I know I've said this before. No, I feel like I'm venting tonight. Man, I hate ESPN. ESPN, Disney, ABC. What is it? What is this cesspool, man? I mean, like, do they like take a survey of middle America and find the people that you like the least and decide that that's what we're gonna put on TV. Like I can't even listen to it, man. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I don't the I end up listening to Stephen A. Smith, not his sports stuff. I like his takes on other stuff. Um
They're trying to
the
run that clown for office. They're trying to get him into.
Oh yeah, 100%. Um the I like still game day on Saturday
Yeah, yeah.
mornings. I think what's his name? Old crazy guy now. Crap, I'm not gonna think of his name.
Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee and Saban are complimenting each other by being on the polar
Right,
opposite ends
right,
of the spectrum. So
right.
I think that's a good thing. But other than that, no, I don't care about that.
Did I tell you? And I probably did, but this is like the 220. Is it fourth?
I don't even know. I lost count about 100.
We've been doing this a long time. I told you that I had a friend of mine who I actually saw the other day when I was in Georgia, that he and his son-in-law, who's some rich attorney out of Atlanta, but they had bought years ago. I mean, maybe 15 years ago. Well, whenever Saban, longer than that, because whenever Saban went to Alabama, he was at Alabama
Hmm.
5 or 6 years, but they bought Saban's lake house
Oh wow.
on it might be Lake Burton. There's a really, really nice lake. There's
Yeah.
several really, really beautiful lakes up in North Georgia, north of Atlanta, pretty north of Atlanta. I mean, and it's the kind of place where you've got these $1 million beautiful, multi-million dollar beautiful homes to the point of, and again, I guess it's kind of funny to know like you're 2 or 3 degrees away from like really wealthy people. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Well, you are. Heck, you're like 1 degree away from the richest dude in Louisiana. So
Well, I don't know. That's just from knowing.
do you
So
have his phone number?
I do.
Okay, so you have the personal phone number of the richest man in
I
Louisiana.
do.
Okay, so there you go. So let's establish that. So Juan and I, while we don't fly private, and we know a few people. Well, so I knew a person up there in Georgia. They bought I don't, and this was back in 19. Just the fact I started off with a 19. It was before 2000. Okay? It was a long time ago. They paid like $1.3 million for a lake house and tore it to the ground
Oh,
just for the
that's
lot,
you knowing you got money.
just because.
Yeah, we want this lot
That's right.
without houses in the way.
Yeah, that one point, and as it turns out, the lot was probably worth that, right? Now,
Right.
so yeah, yeah, that's the other thing. You don't buy those kind of places if you have to worry about upkeep. Anyway, I digress. But they bought Saban's, right? And he just left stuff in there. He just said, "What are you like?" Again, they bought it, and they said in the I don't know if it was a basement or like anyway, the bottom level, big area. Dude, he said it was loaded with LSU stuff. All the gifts and stuff he was given while like there was an
Wow.
LSU pool table, like a a nice slate.
Eh,
Think about the kind of gifts that rich people would have given Nick Saban back in the day. He left it all that LSU stuff, man.
what you gonna do with it now?
I guarantee you what they did with it, they either put it on the curb or they gave it away to people because you know what the last thing University of Georgia people want?
Yeah.
LSU
Yeah.
paraphernalia.
LSU stuff.
Man, I wish I'd have known. I'd have shipped all
Yeah,
that.
that'd have been nice.
Doug Sheremy would have had an entirely different. My man Doug would have had an entirely different house if I'd have known. I hooked him up with some
Hmm.
LSU stuff. But
Yeah, well.
there you go.
You're talking earlier about Disney and ESPN. You saw Disney made the decision today to Kimmel's back tomorrow night.
America, congratulations. Your long nightmare of being Jimmy Kimmelus is over. What a joke. What is
I'm guessing the first 10 minutes of tomorrow night's episode will be the highest view or
yeah.
the highest viewership on Kimmel in
Guys, nobody
forever.
was watching that show.
No,
Nobody
no,
was
no. It's
watching
losing
that
money
show.
like there's no tomorrow.
If you'd have told me it went off the air, I'd have thought, oh, okay, yeah, because
Yeah.
Like their demographic, and I'm like, we don't even try at this. We are continuously surprised that the people are like, oh, y'all listening to this stuff. Um, Dude, I don't know. I don't know that on one of our good weeks we might not reach Kimmel level of, he's on TV.
It's no, he's dropped. They said, consistently and in the major demos, the money demo, he's got nobody anymore. I think if he really wants to make a splash, he should bring back his Carl Malone in blackface
Well,
from the Man Show.
those of you that are missing that, he used to be on the show called The Man Show with Adam Carolla, and they were actually funny back then. And
Yeah,
they did very, 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 very politically incorrect stuff back when America could actually take a
good
joke.
laugh.
But yeah, so
But
so
that's what I've been talking to somebody about. The whole, when did the late night shows change? I mean, those shows all used to be it was comedians who had the shows because it was comedic comment. Now it's very little aspect. It's not that you were offended by a joke he told. It was just, I don't think they care about being funny.
so let me be, I'll be honest, I don't watch any of them. I would occasionally see a clip. I remember when Jimmy Fallon first got on a few years ago. At first, we thought I actually watched a couple because people were like, "Oh, this is new, this is different." He was putting in some energy.
Hmm.
But Jimmy Fallon is, he gets paid, he gets paid very well, and he's a talented guy. But he's a puppet. He's not,
Yeah, I don't think he's as political as the others, and I don't watch any of them either. If I could have bet, or if I would have bet money last week on the Emmy Awards, and that Stephen Colbert would win, I'd have bet every dime I had.
Sure, because yeah, it's all virtue signaling. Stephen
Yeah.
Colbert has been an idiot. Here, the funniest thing about somebody like Stephen Colbert was years ago he did the what was it? What was his show? He did a
He,
parody of Bill O'Reilly.
yeah, it was. I mean, it was on Comedy
Was it the
Network or on Comedy
Colbert
Central.
Report? Was it Colbert Report?
I think it was a Colbert Report. Yeah,
Report, right? Didn't it? Because they dropped the he said it funny. They said it okay. And he was back in the day legitimately funny playing that character, playing that Bill O'Reilly-esque,
right, right.
always playing super concerned. And dude, you can go back. It was legit funny. And then he gets
Even if it was, you know, comedy about the political side that you were on, it
right.
was still funny.
And then he got the show that he took over for Letterman. And then look, as we turned out, Letterman's an ass.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, he's crazy. Like, I don't. The thing that drives me nuts about that is, I guess now, not to Letterman, he's not doing that stuff anymore. But I get annoyed with people that just ah, they just want to throw. Your job is getting ratings. Your job's supposed to get ratings,
right.
but you just throw away half of it. But there's pressure, man. I mean, it's all a club, and it's easier for them just not to be non.
Also, your buddies are watching, and it's people. You know, it's like the artsy fartsy movie type crowd where
Right.
it's all right. Yeah, it's
So see, that was like I said, that was Jimmy Fallon was funny for a while. Now it's like, eh. Colbert just once he got over, never. And then Kimmel, look, Kimmel was funny years ago when Kimmel started. Dude, I never was in the Kimmel studio, but years ago I was in Los Angeles. It just happened to be at the time we're staying at some conference. We're staying at the gosh darn it, it's either a Westin or no, it's not a Westin, whatever it was, the hotel that's attached to the Kodak Theater where the Oscars are held. So, pretty nice place. And Kimmel's studio is right across the street. I guess it's on Sunset. And two nights in a row, the first night, I think, the one I saw was Paul McCartney did a
oh wow.
street concert out there. And the next night was Justin Timberlake. Now, to tell you what a messed up freaking world we were living in, where Justin Timberlake was apparently a bigger deal at the time. But the McCartney thing was pretty cool. I mean, so that was what Kimmel was doing back then, man. He had, he had pretty cool things. He always had Matt Damon on the show.
Yeah, it's it's like a guy's guy type deal. But it's and I texted you and Rick the other day. I said if Kimmel had talent and was marketable, the minute they let him go, CNN would have picked him up to go head to head against Gutfeld.
They'd be all over the place.
Right? Not
So,
not happening.
so that's what's going to happen. He's going to be back on tomorrow. They're going to make a big deal of it. They're going to try to make him like he's some kind of freaking martyr. I like that, right? Some
Yeah.
dude is literally a martyr. Charlie
Yeah.
Kirk was literally the dude was murdered. But Jimmy Kimmel gets to be the victim. Again, whatever. It's all crumbling, man. It's all coming down. I mean, it's all his contract is up, I think, in March. He's done.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not gonna renew it.
He's, unless again, it's just a PR thing.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, this is Disney. These are the same people, I want to say, yeah, that own Star Wars. They ruined Star Wars. They
Yeah.
ruined everything. Even the old IP stuff, the intellectual property stuff, they screwed it all up. So, all right, we see. Seeming like we're kind of negative tonight, Juan.
Well, the not to talk about the or bring it down with the Charlie Kirk stuff again, but did you watch uh Trump on that yesterday?
I did not see. I did not watch hours and hours of the.
No, I didn't either. During the Saints game, I flipped it to when his wife was talking, which was one of the most powerful
Yeah, she's
speeches I've
amazing.
ever heard.
Yeah.
But then President Trump came on after, and about 3 minutes in, I told my wife, I said, you know what? This is the longest I've ever heard him stick to the teleprompter. Then that was about the last second. I think he stuck to the teleprompter.
Yeah, I don't know how long he spoke. I just read after
It was long.
I read after that he went, what you, he can't help himself.
No.
He's standing in front of a stadium with about 100,000 people
Yeah.
in it. And, I get it. And look, the other side of that is, look, he's the most powerful person in the world.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly, except whoever is actually running our government. I don't
Yeah, so,
know.
but then he announces, Bobby Kennedy is here. Tomorrow, me and Bobby gonna have a big press conference. Bobby's not ready, but we're gonna do it tomorrow. We're gonna announce, the cause of autism.
He did that. And here's the deal. So I actually saw a little bit of that at dinner. I'm sitting at dinner by myself. That's the other thing too. This thing, I mean, they got some kind of social event tonight. I've learned my lesson over the years, Juan. Stay away from the social events.
Yeah.
Just stay away from them. I'm gonna show up tomorrow morning. I'm gonna be nice to people, sipping on coffee, and I'm gonna, do my shtick. Hopefully it's good and get out of here. You just learn. There's way more downside the upside than these social deals. But I walked down the street, some brick oven place, got a beer, got a pizza, and I was listening to that press conference. And part of me, that's why if you're a powerful person, you don't have to be president, you can be whatever. You got to be so careful with who you surround yourself with
Yeah.
and who your staff is, because they still come up short on some of that. And there's nobody
Well,
around them.
it's so my wife teaches special needs. I've talked about that before, special needs kids. And I joked at work today. I said, "Man, I think my wife's gonna lose her job." And they said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I think they're about to cure autism."
Well,
Um,
he over.
yeah, and it's but she said that whatever they're talking about, it's some type of, I don't know, it's like a pain reliever, like an over the
Well,
counter
it's
stuff.
Tylenol, bro. It's Tylenol. It was all about Tylenol.
Right.
Trump might have said 15 different times, stop taking Tylenol.
But she said there's studies on that shows that the duration of the onset or increase in whatever acetaminophen or whatever than Tylenol. When you parallel that with the increase of autism, it they were taking that medication was around long before
I don't
autism.
know. I mean, here's
I
what
don't know, but anyway, and I'm probably misstating
right.
that. But again, she's saying that stats don't lie. But again,
I
I
have
go back to the whole Trump thing, and it's like, all right, bro, not the place to talk about this.
now, or even when he got into the Charlie Kirk's wife, like what's her name again?
Erica.
Okay, I gotta be. I try to be show respect because she's gonna be known or her she's more than Charlie Kirk's wife, but that's how we know. So Erica.
Yeah.
So that was either I gotta guess it's sincere, but I didn't even really sit all that right with me. And I don't know if I should be admitting that when she said she forgives the guy.
Well, this is how I explain that. And, again, I don't know her intentions. Forgiving him doesn't mean you don't want him to fry.
I read something about that today too, and I'm going to so butcher this, but basically it said that with that's the thing, forgive them. They, is it know not what they do or not know what they do, Juan?
No, not what they do.
Okay, because she said it not
Oh yeah, and I think it depends probably on
right.
the
Dude,
version of the
you know what I'm
Bible.
saying? Because I am a biblical scholar. You know that
Yeah,
about me, right? I mean, well, no. So I heard that way. Well, it didn't sound right. But then somebody I read said,
yeah, because she did say it that way, and it seemed backwards to me.
somebody said, well, Jesus, on the cross forgave the guy, right? The criminal there. But you know what he didn't do?
He didn't take him off the cross.
He didn't take him off the cross. So it's sort of one of these like, all right, you're forgiven, but so Um, and I don't know, man. It's the last thing you want to do is get into that.
No,
But Trump gets up there and says, I like the fact she says that, but I hate my opponent.
I hate my enemies.
I
I
don't wish
hate
anything good on them.
Charlie looking down, saying, "No, no, Mr. President."
So, I'm like, come on, Trump. And the same thing today, the press conference, man. It's like, gosh, dang it, dude. Like you got to have somebody around to say, Chief, hey, Chief, let's go home. Let's,
Yeah,
let's,
yeah, give him the rap.
Let's call it a day. Like you made your point. Nothing good comes out of these scrums that.
Exactly. It's, first 5 minutes great, last 10 minutes,
So I'll be
get
curious to
over it.
see. He name checked Tylenol so many times today. I mean, so many times. And it's pretty much generic. I mean, Tylenol is.
Right, right.
I'll be curious to see what stock of. I even looked up a while ago. I don't even know what the. I
So in
just
other words, if you got Tylenol stock, you might want to sell.
Well, and Tylenol is kind of funny. It was spun off. I don't know if I still have it here. Let me see if it pulls up. Yeah, I asked ChatGPT who manufactures Tylenol. It says Tylenol is manufactured by McNeil Consumer Healthcare, which is a subsidiary of Kenvue Incorporated. Kenvue was spun off from Johnson and Johnson, spun
Hmm.
off in 2023, and now operates as its own independent consumer health company. Tylenol remains one of its flagship over-the-counter brands, along with Motrin, Benadryl, Zyrtec, and Band-Aid. So, yeah, I don't know what Kenvue stock is looking like, but man, and look, this is what gets so confusing. Let's go back to the Dave and Juan mantra from day one. They're
They're
all
all lying.
lying. They're all lying. When we mostly talk about the media, but they are, pharmaceutical companies, give me a break, man. So yeah, I am prone to believe all of it.
No.
I've long, feeling like, with the vaccine, let's put it this way. I think most of us had an entirely different, uh, developed an entirely different perspective during and after COVID.
Oh God, yeah.
We all wanted to go along and say, man, listen, if the FDA says this, and we had no idea that these government agencies got most of their funding from the companies they're
That
supposed
they
to
were
be.
regulating,
What? Or the fact that everybody working in these agencies, as soon as they retired, got jobs at these.
working with the go. Yeah.
So, am I accusing these people of costing Americans health and killing a lot of people and causing autism and all this other stuff? Yes, that's exactly what I'm accusing these people on. A pox on
Well, I'm
all
gonna
of
say, you
them.
look, and we've talked about this before. I mean, how many kids you knew growing up had peanut butter allergies?
None. None.
Right, right. Lactose intolerant? None.
Dude, shingles. And then you find out that if if you got through and you didn't get chicken pox as a child and you never got the vaccine, you pretty Scott, you man, you ain't shingles ain't gonna touch you. It's if you got the vaccine
Yeah,
that they gave you, you have a
it's
chance of getting shingles.
so I tried a couple of times to get the shingles vaccine, and very reluctantly, and then both times I tried, they said, "Oh, we're out." I said,
Really?
"All right, that's it. I'm done." I
Oh,
gave the college try. That's yeah. It's the Lord telling me you don't need no shingles vaccine.
I don't know. And they say it's terrible. I imagine they say getting shingles is awful.
Yeah,
But my thing is, hey, okay, what's Well, you show me with the vaccine. No, but that's when we trusted those vaccines. I mean, now they're still pushing stuff that like, wait a minute, I can pull up, I can pull up websites and stuff. They're going to even said a website. Oh, that's the other thing too. You get all your information online. Everybody gets all the information online.
Right. Where else you gonna get it?
Me and
From
my
the
wife.
doctor who gets it from online?
Me and my wife had these ongoing arguments about she's much more skeptical of Chat GPT than I am. And I tell her I am skeptical of Chat GPT as well, but I know it for what it is.
Hmm.
And you don't trust everything. You can massage things, ask things three, four, five different ways,
Right.
stuff, because that's all it really is. It's just it's a next level of
That's the next level of Google.
correct,
And
correct.
it's just, and as opposed to, and I think the point that you're making about you ask it different ways, Google, to me, you can't do yeah, you do a search and then you can do another search. You can't say, like,
Right.
I'll do stuff, I'll ask it to write stuff, and I'll
Mhm.
say, okay, I like where you're going with this, but.
Mhm.
And so it's you're continuing the thread. Google, you just do.
Now
So it
look,
is. It's just the next level of a search mechanism.
somebody in my world and what I do, and I write a lot of stuff that just I have for 30 years. I mean, I continue to, but so it sort of changes the game because there are a lot of folks out there who can't write. They can't put three
Hmm.
ideas together, and all of a sudden they're writing. Like LinkedIn's hysterical now with these people putting up their own columns. I'm like, you didn't
Yeah.
write that. You didn't write that more than I did.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
If you ever, if you, the telltale sign for me is if it's overfilled with emojis and it's got M dashes, the longer dash in text. That's pretty much a sign that it's AI.
Chat GPT is fond of those dashes.
Hmm.
And I'll use it. I'll use it to edit now. I mean, it's become a tool and it just speeds things up for me because when you're writing something, right, if you're doing it yourself, you kind of get in the fog, you write it,
Right.
and then you got to almost take a break to come back to have an objective set of eyes to look at it. So if you can just take it and put it into chat and just say analyze or, you know,
Right. I did something the other day where it was wrote something and one of them's going in one newspaper. I needed it for another newspaper, and I said, "All right, I just need a different version of this or rewritten version of this, so it sounds like it's coming. It's for a different publication. It's got to be different enough, but use the same basic content.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 2 seconds as opposed to me spending 2 hours doing it.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So yes, but you can, you can make chat do some dumb things. It's like it's not accurate, but I mean, it's sort of the thing, garbage in, garbage out. And you
Hmm.
don't trust everything you see, but there's some stuff that's pretty easy to check. That's my thing. Is okay, that gives you something that you kind of like question, okay, run it through something else or do it, do it yourself. Well, now we're talking about the hot topics. The other one this week is the H-1B visas that and almost nobody thinks about. Nobody thinks about just another one of the ways that uh, our government screws us, screws middle class people, and how businesses
Right.
historically, right? So those of you that aren't really familiar, and again, I might butcher the explanation, but an H-1B visa is when we bring in foreign workers, we allow foreign workers, non-citizens, to come and have residency in the United States to work in jobs that supposedly Americans, there weren't Americans that would do take.
Available to do it. Right.
It was supposed to be initially for special, man, we need these engineers and we need these programmers and we need, we want the brightest of the bright. So we're going to try to find Americans, but if we can't find American-born citizens
Right.
like the
We don't want to hamper the advancement of opportunity or workflow and technology
right,
and development or hamper the economy by a workforce that we can't fill.
as Trump would say, we're the best of the best. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, heaven forbid the millions of young men and women that we have in all kinds of debt in college getting these degrees. No, no, no. So that's what it's supposed to be. Well, as is everything, right? It gets cheated. And I don't want to get into great detail, but there are some cultures who will never let fairness or the truth get in the way of them getting what they want.
A good paycheck.
I'm telling you. That's the other thing too, Americans. Everybody that wants to crap on America. We come through a culture there that you can point to things where it doesn't we don't hold, we don't live up to the promise. But most of us came up in a culture where right is wrong. You're not supposed to screw over people.
Right.
You're supposed to be honest or honest enough to get, what I'm saying? We have a trust society. Okay. That ain't the way around the world, bro. And it's getting worse and worse. And there are certain cultures you can't trust them as far as you can throw them.
No.
Okay. Well, that a lot of, game in the system. And all of a sudden, these H-1B visas that were supposed to be for the people you can't find are being used for middle management. And I don't want to say nothing jobs. If you're looking for a middle
But
management job,
didn't
it's a good
Disney
job.
have a bunch of them?
Who?
Disney, like Disney, the theme
Dude,
park.
everybody has them. Walmart has them. You name a big company, they all use these H-1B visas because here's what's happening. Here's what happens, guys. They can bring in these people from
Cheap labor.
cheap labor. Not now, it's not might not be like dirt cheap, but it's way cheaper than Americans should or would get paid for these things. And then once they have you here, you're like an indentured servant
Yeah.
because you've got the job. And if you don't have this job, theoretically, you're supposed to
You
go,
got to go.
which is kind of weird, right? We ran this place for 4 years, and we let like millions of people come across the border. We can't send them back, but if you came here honestly, legally on an H-1B visa, and the company decides we don't need you anymore, or we're pulling that visa, they can send you back. That sucks, but that's what's happening. So another one of the reasons that young people, and when I say young, I'm talking anybody in their mid 30s, lower 40s on down, have hard times getting decent white collar jobs
That's
and
why home ownership goes down because that's the age range. I mean, you're late 20s, early 30s where you're starting to come of age in your career.
so what they did last week, and I don't know if it wasn't Trump's idea, somebody came up with it, but it's like every now and then I'm like, hey, somebody on that team had a good idea. And they said we're going to change it and we're going to start charging $100,000 per. Now, in the announcement, they said that was going to be an annual fee, not a one-time deal, an annual fee. If a company wants to bring someone over, they claim they can't find an American to do the job, and they want to bring somebody in, it's $100,000, boom,
Per person?
per person, plus whatever you got to pay for. Now, here's the deal where that makes sense. If it's truly like a genius engineer or a genius programmer,
Right. You're going to make your company a couple hundred grand a year.
they would no, they're paying these people three, four, five, $600,000 a year. You know what? They will pay an extra 15-20% to get that special person.
Right.
What they won't do, they won't fill these 40 and $45,000 lower middle email type positions and have to pay $100,000 on top of that.
Yeah.
That'll keep that out. Now, they're big businesses going crazy, and it's like because big, that's what they do, right? So that's the difference that's the thing with populism. Anytime you're populism, it's people that are saying, hey, how about we look out for like regular folks? How,
Yeah.
how about
Yeah. Us.
yeah, nothing against, and then they got some funny stuff. I'm not gonna call out the country by name, but I've seen some memes that come up with pictures of said country, filth, trash everywhere, and they're saying if America is so dependent on these people to fix it, how come they can't fix their country? Like what's
Right. Right. The big polluters in the world.
and why is apparently the worst thing in the world for them to have to live in their own country?
Because
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
trash heap.
And I'm not trying, look, and that's my deal. It's like we don't even know this stuff was going on, bro. I mean, we're busy living our lives. I've heard that though. You probably seen this years ago where people talking about having to train their replacements. And you heard that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of companies where people were training. Well, guess what? Most of the time they were training. They were training H-1B visa people
Mm-hmm.
who were coming in to do their jobs for half
Yeah.
of what these poor people, were doing. So, all right. It is what it is. All
Yeah.
right.
What you're going to do. So, Man, I went down to Thibodeau last weekend. I went to a wedding at Nichols, or what the reception was at Nichols
Did you?
in the ballroom. Um, and the I mean, I guess I don't know if I'd been in there since they added on to it and stuff, but it's still the ballroom, but there's like a whole backside of it and everything. But we pulled up, I parked by the library. I told my wife, I said, "You want me to give you a tour of the library?" I said, "I don't know where any of the books are, but I could show you the rest." But anyway, so the it was the most Catholic thing that I have ever been to, the wedding itself. A friend of mine's daughter, and they met on they were both Catholic missionaries. And so they met on that. There were seven priests doing the wedding. They were all friends with them. Yeah, my wife said there was a bishop there. I don't think there was a bishop there because I'd have noticed the bishop hat. But
They
dude,
don't always wear the hat. They don't always wear
all
the hat.
right, well, I don't know. But they shook incense at least a dozen different times during the service
Wait, wait. Where was the service?
at the cathedral in Thibodeau.
Okay. Yeah, about to say, Bishop ain't showing up at the
No, no, no. It wasn't like I said.
yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah. Um, there were young people, young women with veils on, like old school Catholic veils. I
More and
said,
more, bro.
man,
You see more young women wearing the. I mean, it's not a majority by any
no,
means.
but I mean, it was nice to see it. It was. I'm saying, man, this
Yeah.
is. Yeah, I mean, it just felt, yeah, a
Well,
cut above.
the trads, traditionals. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
church, the Catholic church closest to my house. They have Latin, at least one Latin mass
Okay.
on the weekends. But yeah, man, look, there is a
It's a resurgence of religion and faith in the country.
who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? And like I said, I'm pretty sure Erica, it's Erica, you said her name was Erica Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure she's Catholic. Oh,
Yeah, I think we said, yeah. The what did you hear? They said that they met because she went on a job interview. She had applied for a job, and he, had a lunch meeting with her, and then at the end of it said, "I can't hire you," and said, "Okay," and he said, "Because I want to date you." Um, and so that's how their
well,
relationship started.
that's a smooth move. If it, I mean, she's a
Oh
gorgeous.
yeah, yeah.
Let's see. Yes, based on public sources, Erica Kirk was raised in a Catholic family and attended Notre Dame Preparatory, which is a private Catholic high school in Scottsdale, Arizona. Oh, she's
Yeah.
from, you see,
Yeah.
that's where their home is. All right. Yeah. But well, she can't be that much of a Catholic. She let him not be Catholic. I guess he might have been converting though. They
What
said,
was he? What was his?
as we've established before, I am a biblical and religious scholar. So I don't know. Is it what is it? What are people? They're not Presbyterian. They're
No, no.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just telling you, had a lot of my guys performing at the service.
Well, you mean a lot of the donut eaters? You had a lot of the
No, man, the guy I went to see last month in Dallas was singing there.
yeah, man. Did you see Marco Rubio like dang near hit? I mean, I saw one of his clips, dude. Marco Rubio gave like one of the most religious.
Oh, I did not see it.
I'm gonna send you the clip, man. I mean, like, I'm like, that's a Secretary of State of the United States talking about. I mean, he gave you the story of Jesus in about a 90-second clip, and I mean, like, dang, we are something going on now. I had a
Well,
friend
they
there.
were so I listened to some stuff today. Like I listened to Megan Kelly and she had Michael Knowles on there, and they were both there. And they just talked about the numbers of young people there, which is impressive. So, and I mean that was his target. But so anyway, it was
No,
just
no, yeah, it's amazing, and it's up to 60 something thousand. Various requests for TP USA. I was driving to the airport this morning, and I had on the talk radio, and one of the guys, Michael Berry, well, you know Michael Berry, right?
uh-huh.
He was talking to a junior in I get some local high school in Houston area, and they put in, they're getting a TP, they're doing a TP USA chapter at their school, and the reason it raised a little.
Well, buddy of mine, old friend who, yeah, used to hang out with that Iron Horse. He is a minister down in a little church, maybe, I don't know, not somewhere south of Homa. Um,
And yes, you
the
can get South Oklahoma.
but he posted something today that so he was approved to, I don't know, I guess not pastor, but to do stuff at Nichols, but also to be affiliated. I don't know if they've got a TPUSA chapter there, but yeah, it sounds like they're either starting one or they already have one. And he said that he was going to be able to be affiliated with that chapter on campus.
It's going to be something. And the thing is that I think the reason Michael Berry had this young man on his radio show, apparently, the story I was hearing was that when they did it, I guess some locals, some liberals, some Democrats or whatever, anyway, started raising a stink and trying to not allow it. So now they have a certain amount of people out there trying to block TPUSA from being able to have these chapters on school because y'all, you got to brainwash the kids while they're young. Right? Heaven forbid they have any, they're talking about
Any divergence of opinion.
they're talking about, believing in it, and they don't even tell you what to believe in. I mean, they're big, it's Jesus and it's Christianity, but I got news for you, man. They got Jewish people in TPUSA. They
Oh
got
yeah.
saying it's and what they talk about is getting married, having kids. You know, yeah, heaven forbid
Well,
somebody
it's
somebody believes something besides the fact the government's going to take care of you.
so yeah, really. So well, last week, we talked, we did a different version of the podcast. We talked a lot about the Charlie Kirk stuff, and we even said, that it was intentionally different. And you got a note from somebody that was very complimentary of it. So I got a message. The I don't typically my phone at work is about like my cell phone. If I don't recognize the name, I don't answer it.
Right.
Just let it go to voicemail. Well, this guy called and I'm still fair. I mean, I've been there for 4 months, and this guy called and recognized the first name. I said, "Oh, that's so and so from this department." So yeah, I didn't recognize the last name, but I don't know the guy's last name. So I just picked up the phone and said, "Hey man, what's up, dude?" Well, it was a salesperson with the same first name. It's like, oh man. I said, "Hey, it's so and so with such and such." I said, "Oh, hey, how's it going, man?" He said, "First of all, I want to compliment your podcast. Y'all did a great job talking about Charlie Kirk." And I don't know this guy. I guess he stalks me on social media or whatever.
Okay.
But then what I want to say was, bro, let me tell you something. That ain't getting you in to see me.
Come on, man.
So I basically said, "Oh, you know what? I'm 2 minutes from walking into a meeting. Why don't you call me back at 4 so then I can know you're calling and I can avoid your call then."
We'll say that again, America. We appreciate you listening, but we really don't need to know. I
Yeah.
mean, it's nice. It's nice when we see the kind of clicks. Just don't make us think about. And you know what? I'm looking at the screen now and realizing that as we started, the sun has gone down. If you go back to the beginning, those of you that are watching the video, the beginning of this video, it's like
Sun was beaming.
I was sitting on a beach, man, with the sunlight. Now I'm in a darkened hotel room. Pathetic, man. Like
Yeah, it's late. It's nighttime where you are.
loneliness. Yeah, it's an hour.
Whole hour.
Yeah, it's an hour. It's an hour ahead where I am right now. But well, a couple things closing was kind of funny. So my son Abe has been shooting games for WAFB
hmm
on the weekends, and he shot one.
I literally, to one of the salespeople I talked to, I it was from WAFB. I met with her last week, and I said, "All right, you got to go introduce yourself to this guy."
Get out of here.
Yep. So I meet with her again tomorrow. I think something. I'll ask if she met her.
Oh, that's funny. You need to do that because let's see, I'm gonna pull this up here. He did a good job, did a clip, and then I guess when they showed his videos that night, Jacques Doucet gave him a shout out.
Oh, nice.
Let's see if I can get this to play here where you can hear it. Hang on a sec.
Nice job by our intern, Abe Martin, shooting that video. 35-0, Scotlandville in a shutout.
One thing to beat your rival, another thing to shut them out like that.
I'll drop it in there, but it's kind of funny. It made the
Yes.
made the reel. So yeah, I told him, man, big time guy. So now you have evidence that you actually did the internship. They gave you a shout out by name.
That's yeah, because they don't do it a lot. They'll say, along with such and cameraman such and such.
There you go. So he's doing that. And dude, you know what? Is this something that nobody besides the people around Sugarland, where I live, would understand? Food Town, the Food Town store in my neighborhood is closed down yesterday, man.
Is it
20-something years.
is it a franchise? Yeah, Food Town.
Yeah, it's a small franchise,
Right.
but man, it's like losing a friend, dude. I'm at that age. I was walking when I found out that store was closed, and I probably went to. Now, granted, maybe they closed because I didn't go to it enough. I don't know, but it was always there, and you just sort of like, oh man, it sucks to watch something close.
Yeah.
You feel like,
Especially
dang,
something you like.
yeah, things been here forever. So, bro, it's where I got my propane tanks. Where am I getting my propane now, man? But anyway, so
Was something that'll never close. We went to Costco Saturday morning, and I hadn't been to Costco many times, but yeah, it's one of those things. My wife wanted some type of sweats or whatever, or workout pants that they had on sale, and then she buys something, and then she feels guilty and says, "Well, do you want this? You like this?" I do, but I don't care. But Costco on a Saturday morning, they could run a commercial that says, "Come by for people who are going to get in your way and don't speak the same language that you do."
I do not like the Costco experience, and say that what I mean. Like I said, we have a Costco. We have two Costcos. Easy drive from my house, and we have a Sam's Club. I'm a Sam's Club dude. I don't know what it is, man. Look, Sam's Club gets busy, and let me tell you something. I live in Sugar Land, Texas. It is a very, very diverse place. But here's the deal. The diversity in Sam's Club sort of acts like me. Like it's nothing to do with your nationality or even your gender or whatever. It has everything to do with how you act.
Yeah.
I don't like the way people act in a Costco. Costco is just
It was literally, and I mean, just slow moving, leaving that half a aisle wide basket unattended in the middle of the aisle.
leaving food sample things in the cart.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. All right. We're two old men shouting at clouds right now, but speaking of which, hey guys, you know what? The buffet's in front of you.
It's there for you.
We did what we could, coming from different parts of the country this week. We're going to push the button, get on out of here, see if any of this stuff stuck to the magic tape in the sky. We hope it did. If you want to reach us, y'all, it's Dave and Juan. And that's not the little and sign. That's spell it out, A-N-D, Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. Or
That thing, for those of you who don't know, it's called an ampersand. Don't ask me to spell it.
no, I won't.
All right. And we're also right here,
Wherever you
wherever
found us.
here might be for you.
You did it before, you can do it again. Wherever you're looking or listening, do it again. We tell you every week. It's not a hint, suggestion, or we're not implying anything, y'all.
No, do the freaking mandate.
Hey, go live your best life. Your best life. Do the best you can. Is your best today as good as it was yesterday? Maybe not.
Yeah. It's always, you got to set the bar, bro.
Do the best. That's right. Might not be as good as tomorrow, but the best you can today. All right. Just go for it. Have a good one. And we will try to, even if we have to move heaven and earth to do it from different areas. I'm not sure where I'm going next week. I think I might be home. But we're gonna do what we can to be back here next week to spend some time
I
with you
think
all.
we'll be back Sunday.
So you do the same, y'all. You do the same. And hopefully Juan and I will not be here with 2-0-4 teams.
I don't know. That's going to lean on your team.
I think I'm supposed to tailgate next Sunday. So we might do it on a Saturday night. We'll see.
All right, man. I'll be around.
Hey, everybody, have a fantastic week. Be careful out there. We'll see you next week. Love you, bro.
Back at you, dude. So my new college-age daughter sent a text the other day. I guess she was excited because they got looked like a king cake, but it's actually called a Kringle or something. So I don't know. But so she was showing us she had something similar to a king cake. And so I see something in the photo that, catches my eye instantly. It's basically a water pistol in the shape of a male body part.
Okay.
And so I send her the note. I said, so what's up with the water gun? Oh, I didn't take the picture. I didn't see that in there. I said, uh-huh. That's what I'm here to do. Notice that.
Man, look. You probably do. Look, she'll learn. She'll learn. I'm the king of crop, and like, look at, I'm like, all right, wait, what's
Yeah, because it was down in the corner of the picture. And
shout out to my friend Gavin Colley. I don't know if he sticks through the podcast, if he listens, if he gets to the end of it like this. He's the king of that. You don't ever send Gavin any kind of picture. Don't text him anything if you don't expect him to study every. He'll come back. I mean, all the time. I know him for that. He'll come back with a comment about some wise ass remark about, hey, what's the whatever. Like, dang, dude, that's not even in focus. Are you running my photos through AI to pull that stuff?
Oh, well,
All right.
you got time on his hands.
If your daughter's listening, hey, learn a lesson. Your poor dad don't need to see that.
That's right. Don't want to see it. I don't want to know that you saw it.
It's over. Go home.